Hi everyone, this is an update to my previous video on searching the databases. I wanted to highlight a few things because the library's interface for our course's research page has changed a little bit, but if you haven't watched my previous video, make sure you watch that one first because there is some really good information there that I won't necessarily be repeating. So please watch that one first and then you can come back to this one. So I am in our course site, and if you look at the menu on the left, you'll see that there is a link that says library. So that's where I'm going to start, clicking on library. And then what you want to do is go to the second option, which says Library Course Pages and Research Guides. So go ahead and click on that. And this brings you to the English 102 and 103 Research Toolkit homepage. And as you can see, it looks a little bit different from my last video because it has been newly updated for this semester. So here you see the different stages of developing a research paper, develop a topic, which I will be giving you choices for topics, so you don't need to worry about that part. But finding sources is probably one of the most time-consuming aspects of doing research other than writing the actual paper. So that's what we're going to focus on for this video. After that, you see that there's evaluating sources. We'll talk about that later. And then citing sources. Okay. So I'm going to start by clicking on this link at the top that says Find Sources, Scholarly Articles, and More. Okay, so here we see that the steps for searching are listed. First, you're going to use the search tools that are available through the library. You're going to use keywords. You may need to combine some search terms to find your desired results, and then of course you're going to need to filter and sort those results because likely you will be retrieving many more results than you need or want. So let's kind of walk through this process together. We have many different kinds of databases through the library. We have journal articles, which are your peer-reviewed scholarly articles, which will be very important to us because we do want to have a mix of scholarly and popular sources. For those popular sources, you can look through this tab for magazine and newspaper articles. ProQuest and Gale Academic OneFile are really good databases that I featured in my last video. There are books and ebooks that you can access, also videos and media. So we have a bunch of films on demand, Canopy, other things that you have access to. But I'm going to go back to journal articles, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a Raptor search. So that'll pull up a new page where you can enter in some search terms. So let's say we want to do a search for counterfeit products. It's a very general search term, so I'll just hit search and we'll see what we get. Okay, so you see here we have 154,000 sources, which is obviously way more than we would need. Again, if you go to this menu on the left, you can narrow down your search. For example, if you just wanted to look through magazine articles, you could click here. If you just wanted academic sources, you could click here. News. Even then, 28,290, that's way too many sources. So if I were actually doing this research, I would narrow down my search terms. But let's just click on one of these sources. I'm going to go ahead and click on this second one called Shame on You, When Materialism Leads to Purchase Intentions Toward Counterfeit Products. Okay, so the first thing I always suggest you do is to read the abstract, right? Because this will give you additional information, and then you can decide whether you want to go further into reading the article or if you want to just click out of it because it's not really what you want. So reading this abstract gives you a good idea of what the article is about. We see here that it's from an academic journal. Academic journals are always always have like these volume and issue numbers. So that's one way to tell that it's an academic journal. Not all academic journals have the title journal in the name, so just FYI. Okay, so let's say you wanted to read the full text of this article. So you would go to the menu on the left. I always prefer to get the PDF. It will prompt you to enter in your M number. So go ahead and click on that. I had already entered mine, so hopefully I can bypass this. Okay, so here we see the article. I'll go ahead and enlarge it. So again, we have the citation information up here, the title, the authors, the date, the abstract, the keywords. Like I said in my last video, these keywords are really important because if you want to find similar articles, then I would just borrow these keywords and type them into a new search. Okay, so let's say you read the article, you like the article, it has really good information. Another tip that I have is to look at the references at the end, because this will give you a treasure trove of other similar sources, sources that these authors used to write this article. So there are a lot of references here. It does take time to go through them and to see which ones are relevant to your research. But the nice thing is that you could just copy the author's name and maybe a couple of keywords, do a new search, and then you could easily find this article. Okay, so lastly, we would need to cite the article, right? So if you're using this article for your research, you want to make sure that you're citing it properly on your Works Cited page. So if you go to the menu on the right, one of these, this one that looks like a sheet of paper, if you can see, it says Cite. So go ahead and click on that, and it'll pull up another screen with citations for different types of citation formats. So of course we use MLA in our English classes, and the citation is done for you, so you can just copy and paste it and then put it in your Word document. I definitely suggest not skipping over this step with the intent of going back later and finding it, because it's just not an efficient way to work. You're going to end up spending a lot more time trying to find the article, the exact article, and then, trying to remember the steps of getting the citation. So I would come up with a really good system of organizing your sources. And as soon as you know that you want to use a source, go ahead and copy the citation information so that it can save you time later. Alright, so I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in class. Thanks.